Thanks for coming for the class. In the beginning, I was planning we have some class activities so for discussion, but because I changed to do it online, so you may if you are some student, if you are staying in a group, then yes, you can discuss together. If you're doing by yourself, then I will give you time. So once I go through all the contents, so you feel free to stay and discuss with me, or you need to submit the path of work like have in-class exercise. So I'll stay, you may ask me question. And if no, then you can feel free to leave anytime. But first, I would like to talk about the assignment. We're going to have kind of called the last assignment. So this one is called the you need to work on the design of the. Let me show you. Suppose you will have the link, and I will give you the description. And I would have it. So right here. Okay, let me open it. So here's the assignment. You have like two parts. One is about the database design. So if right now I asking if you need to create online store system, and you have certain function like products, orders, and customer account. Then because it's a pretty huge work, first you need to do the database design. So you need to maybe thinking design all those like categories, like functions, but based on this, then you need to create, and then you need to also draw the ER diagrams, some diagrams you did, and then you need to, when you implement your database, you need to work on the normalization. We talk about first normal form, second normal form, and third, but you don't have to actually say, okay, in first normal form, what do you do? But you can just have a really short explanation, like how do you decide? You can put them together. And mainly I would looking target on the SQL statements. So all those, like how did you create those tables? Because I want to see the structure. And then you need to insert some sample data for each table, and then query find the appropriate data. Okay. This one, I just say you can stay on your familiar. Let's say if you know better on MySQL, then you can just MySQL. So I'm not really force you. Say if you want to working like if I want to practice more on like combining my NoSQL, SQL, and then yes, you can using hybrid designing using hybrid style, and that's what you need to do. And then second is that once you're able, and then if you remember, we talked about the user interface. So mainly this one, you need to create some flow. Okay, what's the homepage, product page, or the shopping class? How you would decide? Because all this, there are no absolute answer, or like there's only one solution, even to the UI design. But I will look at it. Is it makes sense? Looks fine, or like when you create the layouts, like is it user friendly? You provide good user experience. So this one is like basically if you design it looks fine, then you can kind of like get 100%. But for this one will be harder for the database, because when you make some mistake on the like tables, if they're not related, then it will affect your assignments grading. Okay, so mainly will be the first part. So all this you need to showing the diagrams. If you require, you can also feel free when you're showing the tables, of course you may include the class diagram and also for the list. Okay, so that's what you need to do because you did draw the diagram before, so I believe suppose you have some idea. So I'll give you some examples for the entire list you may need to use. You feel free to add more, but you at least should follow the guideline right here. At least you should have this. Okay. And here's about the assignment. So suppose I just give you the last one because I know you need to work on the project, and it will be going to be last week. And I will post after kind of like 2 weeks later, I will give you the first like progress, like how about your project design. But I will cover this part later in the lecture. Okay. So do you have any question about the assignment? If no, then I will give you. So I will give you kind of like plenty of time, because suppose like officially it will be our last assignment. you need to submit. But of course, in the class, I will give you some exercise. And after this one, actually, we have one more coming. Not really exercise, but just like as a follow-up. So if I'm asking people, we talk about the approach. Okay, so for the approach, then we need helping you to understand and evaluate different type of the system development approach. We have the waterfall, LG, like spiritual, like DevOps. So you can pick it. So to some like hypothetical project. So let's say we need to have a really simple web-based task like management application. We need to implement. Then we can allow the users to create, update, delete tasks, and categorize them, and then set the deadline. Okay, here's this project we need to do. Then try to choose one of the following system development approaches. Like you think is like flexible, like good to project, and then with some explanation, and then how can you apply the flow, like what do you do? And when you break down, so you try to need to able to outline the phases. You choose the approach, and then how they approach the project, and then all those like key deliverables like at each phase, and then what the roles and then responsibility of the team member based on this approach. Like record developer, maybe like something included in this part, like if there's a team or like them role for getting requirements, and then for the designing team, what they going to do. Okay, and so like kind of the timeline, if you remember, I in the example showing you last time. For the case study, like for the task, like what we're going to apply, and then we have one more right here. Not this one. No, okay, not database. I remember the one that is saying how many months or like what do you expect the timeline. So like how long will you spend on like getting requirements? How long you spend on the design, like implementation, testing, and all this. And just like putting a Word documents and showing the approach. So this one, actually beginning, I want to let you have a discussion, and then you can put it with this simple, just even 1 page, 2 pages is okay. Just as an exercise, help you to understand how this approach, how can you prepare this approach. And just thinking like, give me the title. And because we are not doing online, so maybe we have to dividing the groups. So I will let you maybe do it by your own. You can choose the approach you want to apply. So you can refer to the notes I gave you before in the class. So you can choose like which one you think may be better. So you can follow the flow you think is okay. If for the this project, if you need to work on the web-based task, then how will you do? Of course, before you start, we can have some discussions. If you're joining right now, I will give you I open the task, so I give you the time, so you can work on this. Really simple. This one is like more like it's just a participation. So you just tell me what do you do, like what's the plan. You don't have to read the details, but you just remember you need to submit it. Okay, then it will be helpful for your grade. Okay, so here's like is called a like web-based task management application. So right here, I just asking if somebody wants to share like if for this type of application. As well, no, we have different type of approach. Which one will you use? Or then what kind of phases you know and how to implement? Like letting the user, we have certain tasks we need to do. If any student willing to share, then you can let me know. or I will give you some time to think about it. If for this one, I already upload this slides to with 12 and 1, so you can look at it, look at the details, and then I give you maybe around 10 minutes to think about, okay, if for this situation, which approach will be better. And like, of course, we need to consider the benefits, like what's the pros and cons, and based on this, like what are each phase you're going to do if you need to implement this application to break down if I want to apply those. Okay, and you can refer to my previous example or the our classes, or if you want to refer to the one I using the Ubers and how they design, yes, you can refer to it. And also we have the let me see this one, the lecture. I will open the lecture. Okay. Because this one we have to pretty traditional. We have the like waterfall and then some methodology like LG. But after the DevOps, maybe not really detail, but you can follow the phases. Like here we have different phases. You can put it just like 1 or 2 sentences what you're going to do. So it's not complicated, but you need to like say, okay, what's the in the beginning? So we need to get a requirement, design, and then which team are going to handle those tasks, implementation, what you do. And then because we have some function testing, deployment like this. Okay. So show me the phase. So just like 1 or 2 pages, like have some graph or table. Also show me the timeline. How much time you're going to spend on this part. Okay, 1 month, 2 months, or like if like for the depth hours, because you keep developing reviews, but you still have certain process. And why not give you some time to think about it. And if you have a question, feel free to ask me. And after you complete it, then you just remember to submit your work. So this one is more like participation that you to getting more familiar with the work. Okay. So I give you some time so you can look at it. So I'll mute mine. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. And then you may start to try to plan about this project. I would like to check if anyone have some idea, like if you need to work on this project, which approach would you select, or are you still designing or working on this, or anyone would like to share? So remember, you need to pay, like first, maybe you need to tell me which approach you need to use, and then the phases. So you can refer to the my previous example, the slides, telling you different approach, like waterfall, agile, spiral, like DevOps. Then you can choose the one. So what the phases included? Okay, and then you can just give me one or two sentences to describe what you do. It's okay. And of course, like in those tasks, you need to add, okay, what's the deliverables will be included, like for the requirements. So what kind of things, after you complete the requirement phase, what kind of thing you're going to deliver or comes out, okay? And then what the role included. So you can just like answer, or each phases, you can have like phase one requirement. So what's the task you want to do? Key deliverable, what's it? And then role, responsibility. Okay. And then finally, and then what's the timeline included? How much time you're going to spend on this phase? Can have a word.
When you say the phases, do you mean the development disciplines and stuff?
The you not really required, but is the requirement like this, like get the requirements, design,
Oh,
and
okay.
implementation. So it's really simple.
It's just the four then.
Here's the form, yeah, it's the plan. So let's say if you want to choose, I want to use the waterfall. Okay, so you say I will use the approach. This approach is using the waterfall. Okay, okay, then change it approach. Okay, and then so what's the phases we are going to use? Phase one, then I will try to get the requirement. Then you can say, okay, requirement, like these requirements, then blah, 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 what you're going to do. And then I will asking, okay, so next one, after you describe what's the phases, then what is the task you need to do? What's the key deliverable? What kind of things will you deliver after these phases? Okay. And what the role? Okay, let's say for this one, for requirement, just maybe some the team for maybe not the developer, but maybe some like general staff, maybe, or some maybe working with some employee or with the developer, at least one developer. So to make sure the requirement fits your need. So like this, like one advisor like this, and then with the some staff like this, and then or anything. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And the next, so what's their responsibility, what they were going to do? And later also the timeline. So where's the timeline? You can put it right here. So maybe you using, let's say for the requirement, gathering requirement, maybe I use 1 month. And you can tell it's 1 month. So it's pretty short, okay. And then you can fulfill like what you need to do. So it's like choosing for the approach and then how will apply this one, okay. And then you need to, based on all these choose, maybe you can add more. And after you finish like phase 1, 2, right, blah, 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 and then keep going. Okay, so maybe you can address certain possible challenge you foresee if you're using this approach. Okay, and or if you are going to think, okay, it may possible in the beginning, because this one is too open-ended question, so I just say you need to implement called a web-based task management application. And actually, for follow-up, you may be thinking, is the new startup, or is it for just like already I need to migrating from the old system to new system, then which phase? Maybe you say, okay, for this one, then I need to first from the waterfall, and then I need to move to DevOps. Like this is okay. Then you maybe need to put two different approach. And what's this one? So just follow up. So when you're putting all this, just help you to remember what the phases you need to use, or like the differences between this model. Whether for the class or like mainly for the lecture, like for the question exam, then mainly I'll asking you what are the possible approach and what are the differences, like what's the special of those approach. So I wish this exercise can help you to knowing better or like remember some special feature of this 4 approaches. Okay. If you have no other question, then I'll just mute the speaker, so let you to work on it. If you have any other question, you feel free to work on it. I have no standard format to say it, but this one actually suppose I want to have a discussion and more interaction with you, but since we changed to online, then I just let you to do it by yourself. Okay. Just feel free if you can ask me. So I will wait right here. I would like to know if anyone finished, like choose your approach and finish, let's say your phase 1 or phase 2, and willing to share. And but after you all submitted, also I will try to pick up and then discuss. And I would like to know like which approach you would choose and how do you think, even based on the same application for the project. Sometimes if you remember, we talk about the company culture. So how would you put those in consideration? Because like all the open-ended and I didn't really limit it to you. So you need to think based on the features of all this approach, then you will think, okay, if I assume if the company or the culture do in this way, then I will prefer using this approach. And all this approach, what the steps, and then what kind of things that you after this phase, then what kind of things you will be the deliverables comes out, or we need to pass for next steps. Okay, next phases. If anyone would like to share, or with the, do you have any questions would like to ask?
I have a question about the agile method.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to do this based on our project,
Mm-hmm.
and all the phases and stuff like that, we
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be able to really get feedback unless we have a third party looking through our work, right?
No, yeah, we don't have third party.
That's why we wouldn't be able to do the agile method in this case.
You can still able to use it. Even though we what's the okay? So based on we talk about the agile methodology. So what's the differences? Or like because we didn't have a like third party, but we say the customer feedback, right? So in this phase, if for the we don't have really say get the user customer feedback, but you need to like perform something. What's the task? So for the phase, let's say you have the phase for customer feedback, what will you do?
Um, I guess we can do like a survey or something if there
Mhm.
is one, and then they can try to respond to us that way.
Okay, so this one is more like face to face, right?
Mhm.
So it's like when so you let them to try on your app or your application. So you observe what did they do, or like you can make a questionnaire, ask them, or when you try to deliver like online, how you able to obtain the customer feedback?
Uh, I'm not too sure. Just usually surveys or
Mhm.
uh,
Have you ever seen some application or some website to gather your feedback, or like if they receive some have you ever like click on some button or you want to take have some service but it pops out it's not working, or
mhm.
like what kind
Yeah.
of we call the notice feedback give you, let you
Uh,
to leave some message to them?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just like imagine, okay, I can give you one of example. Let's say if I have a system or like for the application, I can deliver for the getting the customer feedback, right? The user to text. So that means like one phase, I will including a customer feedback. So one way is I will have a one doing face to face. Okay,
Mhm.
second is the online. It's like when they testing the system. Like maybe they do it remote, they're using a system, then I will have a dialog box or like have a contact message so they can click on the buttons to like give me the response saying, okay, so if I do certain like let's say I click on this button, but it doesn't pop out the information, or I didn't redirect to this page. So they can send me this create a ticket. Sometimes we say create a ticket, then we can follow up, then we can fix those problem or the bugs.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is called the customer feedback. So we don't have to really say involve the when you design the approach, you don't really think how can I get the third party contact them. No, but it's like for your company yourself, for your team, how you try to gather those get those customer feedback. So you can think it in this direction. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you are choosing the LG methodology, right, for this project?
I'm still deciding. I haven't
Okay,
chose it yet.
okay. Let you think about. So I think we have around almost 30 minutes left. So you're feel free if you want to like stay and work and ask me question, you can feel free to stay. If you want to work on this later, just submit before next week. So I will depends on the submission. So feedback, I'll look at it and then later I will pick up some of your like your solution and then I can discuss like with your thinking like so why sometimes what's the advantage or sometimes you can see others idea. Okay, does it make sense? It's good, or like we can borrow others idea to apply. So we can do it this one, share our thoughts. Okay. So right now you are feel free. So if you want to leave, you can feel free to leave. If you want to stay and ask me question, you can do it. So I will mute myself so you can just ask any question. Okay. Okay, so if you have no other questions, then I will just end it, and then you can just finish, then you can submit your work to the assignment. And this one, after you submit it, it will help for actually, it's kind of like bonus helping for you for a grade, and then I will put it as an extra part of it. Yeah, for you maybe adding to your project somehow, so it can help you. And if you know other question, without any question, then I will end the class right here. Then you can keep on working your work.